All right.
All right.
Hello.
We've just been sharing some things kind of off camera, just of
For the past 25 or 30 minutes.
all the weird things going on. We were talking about electronics and our AC stopped working correctly. It was still running, but it wasn't blowing cold air. And then
But the humidity's down in the house, but it's not as cold. It's like, it's really
you go
strange.
right underneath it and you can't feel any cold air.
Mm-mm.
And yet the humidity's going down.
Yeah, it's really
And so
weird.
And the thermometer, the thermostat doesn't change.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when I changed the temperature? The temperature was 74 degrees. I had the thermostat set at 70 so that AC would run because I was trying to see if it would work. And it was running.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, I'm going to turn it up to 73 so it'll cut off when it reaches down to 73, because it wasn't moving. It was staying on 74. It had been at 74 for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
So I set it at 73. As soon as I hit 73, it turned off. I'm like, why is it turning off?
But the temperature said 74, and he set it at 73 to kick off. Yeah. It didn't make any sense.
Yeah, so
no.
So we've been a lot of that going on, electronics and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
This list, I could have sat in there for a while.
And got more?
Got more. Because, I don't know.
Wow.
It was just, I don't even know how to describe it. I do want to dedicate this to you, Jenny. We've talked about this subject before, and it was as if my counsel was waiting for all of us to be on the same page. And you and I were, and that's easy because we live together and whatnot.
Yeah.
And we were just waiting for Jenny. No pressure. We mentioned it a couple times. You'll know it when we start talking about it. But this is dedicated to you and your followers.
Oh, thanks.
And you'll understand, I think. And then I hope that you take this from your perspective, and then you talk to your followers about it. Okay. I want you to use our words. I want you to use your words and your impressions. But like I said, I think you'll get it as we go through this.
I can feel the energy from it just by you saying that.
Okay.
Wow.
So, the first one is trust your dragon. When in doubt, feel fear or sense being stagnant, turn to your dragon. This is the part of you that feels no fear. Has no doubt and knows what you need to do. You conjure your dragon by pausing the small mind thinking and letting go to the flow of your dragon warrior energy that's just under the surface waiting to burst forth. You can trust your dragon. It's part of a brood of star warriors sent to guide you on your path.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's so good. I love that.
And I get every time, whenever we talk about this, I feel my dragon here, and I feel like its head right here with its nose and stuff right here. You can just feel that. And it's right here. I can feel it. Yeah. Wow.
All right. So that's the first one. We can stop anytime you want, but this all kind of goes together. So
Jenny's been posting lots about dragons lately.
This is the
next.
Did
you see when Mandy mentioned dragons in her video yesterday? Dragons are everywhere.
Yep. Yeah. The next one, spread your dragon wings. You'll be tentative at first, not wanting to scare or frighten those around you. But have no worries. They've been anticipating the day you spread your wings and stand in the light of your fire, or dreading the flap of your wings that energetically sends them on their way to do the same.
Yeah.
Ever see a brood of dragons take flight and change the very nature of the sky? Oh, forgive me. Of course you have. This isn't your first unfurling.
Yep. I know that that's what I came here to do. I was even talking to Chris about that the other day. I was like, I know I'm here to be like a huge, I'm here to help people grow, and because that's how you grow quick.
Right.
I've been like triggered hugely in my life, and then, but with love, I can do it with love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you were just sharing some experience of your unfurling your wings or making your choices, and others, reacting. And
well, I think you'll like the rest of this. All right. So next one. Peer into your dragon sense. There's a place deep under the grounding of your presence that longs for the connectedness of your senses. Once upon a time, you presided over this space and favored its ancient comfort of hallowed wisdom and togetherness as you reached out to the others reaching for you. Now, it calls to you from beyond the obvious senses to parlay a meeting of the minds, because it's time to re-enter the lair of your dragon sense. Come, make yourself this home.
Mm. Oh, wow, that feels good. Oh, that's great.
My leg never bounces. My
I know,
leg is
it's
bouncing all over the place right now. Woo! Man.
I can feel the energy. It's intense right now.
Yeah. So
it's like feeling up my heart. Like,
yeah.
All right. The next one. The time of your dragon's fear. It never left, but dwindled nonetheless. A globe of your beingness that's indestructible beyond a mere fortress. Mm-hmm. Yes, you covered it up and hid its passage, but that never erased the heart of its message. Well, you'll have to forgive me. The energies are here. It's well past time for wallowing in fear, succumbing to doubts and the crier's lament, the fall of your grace, the death, and our treatment. Rise in this now, this moment so near. Bring forth the power of your dragon's fear. You've tried all endeavors, from damage to strife. Can't we get on with it? This time to thrive. Mm-hmm. Hear me, oh no. Hear ye, see thee, your rumble and stare. Pour forth the fire from your dragon's lair. Mm-hmm.
Mm. Mm. Wow. Wow.
I just wrote this afternoon.
That's excellent. I love it.
I'm just, that was a complete poem.
Yeah.
And I was writing it. I got halfway through and go, hey, this all rhymes. When did I become a poet? I'm a poet and don't know it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's beautiful though too. That's
so beautiful. Yes, I want it typed out too. I'm gonna read it again.
I know what I'm going to be doing this evening. Okay, the next one. Turn to your mystical healing of your dragon. The smallness of you has taken their beatings, experienced their torment and torture, and lived through their machinations of pain and anguish to minimize you. It's now time to move this humbling of you to the past and conjure the healing from your dragon. These mystical powers will, of course, mend your suffering spirits, but that's not your primary purpose. You came here to help in healing and show the way out to those who tormented and minimized you. Without you, they are stuck in their need to torture. So, physician, heal thyself so that you may heal others.
Yes.
Wow. I mean, think about that. They're stuck. Yeah. If we don't progress.
You realize
Yeah.
we came here to get tortured by them
Right.
so that we could bring our frequency down to their level
Mhm.
so that they could see us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then now, right now is the time to say, okay, enough torture. We're bringing you with us.
Mhm.
Yes.
Some will choose to go elsewhere and they have
Yeah.
that free will.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We came here to see those who are doing the torturing if they're ready to go.
Well, and it's happening so much quicker, whereas those kind of things used to dwindle and take a long time. Now it's like bing, bang, boom, and then there's no bad feelings about it. It's just like, bye, love you. We don't think about it anymore. It's where, with me personally, it was taking a long time for these things to happen, and with ease, and like it was like I had to wean myself off of the relationships. Whereas now, someone or whatever, they'll show me something, I'll see it. I won't prefer to be around it. And so it'll be easy for me to cut the connection like that. But with love,
Yep.
not like nothing negative, just, okay, that's not what I want to do anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just easy.
It was our job to come here, get tortured by them, get tormented by them, get minimized by them. But at the dragon's call, which is now, it's time to reverse that and start up in the other direction.
Mhm.
It's
Yes.
to drag them with
No.
us.
No.
It's to show them.
Mhm.
We came down to your level. We played your game. Now it's time to go play ours.
Mhm.
And you can come with us or not. It's up to
Right.
you. You can't.
Exactly.
Right.
So that's what we're doing.
Yep.
Now the dragon's call is out.
Mhm.
That's what this is all about.
Yeah.
Yes. I feel it. I big time feel it.
Okay, the last one. The tale of your dragon.
Mhm.
Your tale's beginning has been written, but not its conclusion. I'm not here to tell you how to continue, but to continue to show you you are living a tale worth living.
Mhm.
Your dragon has slumbered for thousands of years, awaiting your call to continue your tale. Awakening your dragon is the end of your fall, to start thinking big and no longer small.
Mhm.
Mm.
So now in this moment, with the call of your grail, do you step up your search in your dragon's tail?
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah. That has some different layers than
Mhm.
even wordplay.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to write this whole thing up because
That's incredible.
it's got so many activations. It's got layer upon layer
Mhm.
upon layer.
Mhm.
Hearing this is going to give you a certain perspective. And that's what you guys are getting right now, and
Mhm.
those who are watching this video. But I kind of put it to you to then go read the words,
Mhm.
because a different part of you is now going to access it, and it'll do something else.
And I'm even hearing go speak it too.
Yeah.
Like
For those who
it's like
calls
if you
forth.
read it to it's almost like you're speaking that magic out too. So
Yes.
it's a loop, yeah, that you then hear yourself in your voice, hear
Mhm.
yourself speak those words. I think there's power in that too.
Yes.
Yep.
I've been talking to myself quite a bit lately, like in the mirror. I mean, I always do, but even more so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's a frequency that we know.
Mhm.
All of our cells know it. So if we see it, we hear it, but then we speak it in our own frequency, it has a huge power. I can remember when I did my QHHT and hearing myself say things about myself in my voice was like mind blowing. And now someone else could have said it to me and it might have had an impact, but it was like my whole body knew it was real and how to take it in, So.
I want to read this one again, because when I finished it, I felt like I got 8 out of 10.
Mm.
Okay, so I want to, something's telling me to read this again.
Okay.
So this is the time of your dragon sphere. It never left, but dwindled nonetheless. A globe of your beingness that's indestructible beyond a mere fortress. Yes, yes, you covered it up and hid its passage, but that never erased the heart of its message. Well, you'll have to forgive me. The energies are here. It's well past time for wallowing in fear. Succumbing to doubts and the crier's lament, the fall of your grace, the death, our treatment. Rise in this now, this moment so near, bring forth the power of your dragon sphere. You've tried all endeavors from damage to strife. Can't we get on with it this time to thrive? Hear me, oh no, hear ye, see thee, your rumble and stare. Pour forth the fire from your dragon's lair.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
My third eye's like pulsating, and and I can almost, it's like I'm trancing out almost just hearing you say that again.
Yeah. Amazing. I feel yeah.
The whole body's doing that, but right, like through here, it's like
Mm-hmm.
I could have gotten
She's
big time.
Mm-hmm.
I could have gotten more.
That's amazing.
But I ran out of time while I was in there. I was the weak link. I was the bottleneck.
Mm.
This, I mean, I'm not saying this was hard to do. I'm just saying I was like getting tears. I was in almost a bliss go, oh, wait a minute, I got to write some stuff. So I was in there for 2 hours.
Yeah, it was funny because I was to go to text and something said, no, don't, just leave him. And so I came in here and I was like, I wonder. I was like, no, he'll come when he's finished, because I didn't want to disrupt that energy. I could feel the energy in that room out from outside the room. So that was cool. That is cool.
Very cool.
It was something that came through too when you read that about this dragon sphere, and we reduce it, we put it down, but we still have it. It's still here. We've just like hidden it, and now it's time to like.
Well, that's what it says.
Out.
It never left,
Mm-hmm.
but dwindled nonetheless. A globe of your beingness that's indestructible beyond a mere fortress.
Yeah.
It was always there. That's your soul, your spark. That's always been there. But we came here to meet up with our tormentors' frequency. And we had to minimize ourselves as much as we could to get on the plane so that they could see us.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was always there.
Yeah.
And now these energies are coming in. That's why I said the one part, it said, well, you'll have to forgive me. The energies are here. It's well past time for wallowing in fear.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got to remember, the starseeds that came here, we took on a lot of their pain, a lot of their fear. A lot of it's not even ours.
Yeah.
I'll bet you at least half of what you feel is not even yours.
Right.
Someone else's that you're grounding for them. You're taking it on for them because you're a healer. You came here to take on some of their pain and strife and ground it out.
I could feel that today. Like talking to Elizabeth, my daughter, she was going through some stuff, and I could, as soon as we got off the phone, I could feel it, and I was like, I know that I was supposed to call her because she needed me to today, to pull out a little bit of that out, because I am able to transmute it just like that. Excuse me.
The feeling I get, every one of us has been programmed, minimized, and has been selfish.
Yes.
Okay, every one of us. If you think you've never been selfish, you're
Oh
full.
no, I know I've been so
Okay. That was planned. We knew we were going to do that.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
you didn't do anything wrong by being
Right.
selfish. And going forward, that you're not going to stop being selfish. But something's going to start to click, and you're going to realize when you grow beyond that selfishness, it's going to awaken something more in you.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
that selflessness is going to feel so good
Yeah.
that nothing you can do will keep it from happening. When you try to go back to being selfish, not that you'll stop doing it, but it just won't have the same
Yeah.
pull.
Right.
Well, it reminds me when you were reading that, what came to me was something we've talked about is that piece of us that's not destructible, that piece of us that has compassion for the other. And
Yeah.
and that gets uncovered in times of um, emergency and tragedy. Just in
Mhm.
this old low vibration, it would still get uncovered in those times, and you would discard anything about who the person was or what their money situation was or what their name was, or if that person was in front of you and in pain, it didn't matter. It didn't really
Right.
matter, you know. And so for me, it's like having that ability to hold that same
Mhm.
feeling at a higher vibration level, so it
Right.
doesn't need the emergency or the tragedy
Yes.
to be in that. Yeah.
When you were saying that, I'm sorry. You're
Uh-huh.
right. I don't want to take away from that, but I kept hearing the song from Foreigner,
What's that?
emergency, urgent, urgent, urgent,
Oh.
emergency, urgent,
Like a urgent, urgent. Yeah.
emergency.
Yeah, but it is very much, you know, having that, because it is still in us. We see it in each
Mhm.
other when we're pushed to do it. But then when we're not in that intensity, in this low vibration, it gets covered up with all the other crap in the world. But now, once we rise above that, we don't have all of that, where our spheres are coming out and being, you know, shown, and we don't have those masks, then we can be in that more regularly,
Yeah.
always.
And like I said, a lot of what you feel crushing you, if you ever feel that or despair or whatnot, a lot of it is not even yours.
Mm-mm.
Mhm.
So
No.
think about that. Think
Yeah.
about that. You are taking not just one for the team, you're taking
Yeah.
many for the team. You came here to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're doing it for the people who don't know what the hell's going on.
Don't even know what's happening.
They don't even know what's going on because they're getting hit with these energies and it's putting off all this stuff and they don't know what to do with it. So
Right.
we came here to help them, not to do it for them, but just to help ground out some of the overwhelming feelings.
Mm-hmm.
And so we end up feeling overwhelmed,
Yeah.
thinking
Mhm.
this is ours. Something's doing. But haven't you stopped and gone, where's this coming from?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I've got
What's
my
coming
kids.
from
And,
you?
yeah. my kids come home and they're crazy. I'm like, okay, this is what's going on with them. Let's take it down a notch. Let's calm it down. Let me teach them how to get through this.
Even though some of the trauma I mean, I can speak for I would sit there and go, I have nothing in my life that would make me feel this, PTSD drama, that I'm feeling.
Mhm.
There's no reasoning for it. And then you try to
Right.
start rationalizing why it is, but then I realized it's not mine.
Yeah.
It's not mine. It's just I was able to take that in for some being or the collective, to be able to transmute it. But once you get past that and you stop looking for the reasons why you have it, and you just go, okay, how do I process it? How do I process
Right.
it and release it? Then it's
Yeah.
better of everybody.
Well,
I'm very good at not caring about why anything is and just taking care of what's happening in that moment.
Mhm.
But where I used to have to like be so analytical about it, and I've been able to shift that thinking or to not even think and just act and just take care of it and move on, not get emotional, just handle it.
Mhm.
well, I've used this analogy before.
Mhm.
I grew up playing soccer. I played soccer since I was 5 years old. I'm not currently playing. I gave it up for what we're going through now. because I
Mhm.
needed to focus on this, my internal development. But in playing soccer, just where I started at, typically I was one of the better players wherever I would go play.
Mhm.
And there were moments when I would be on a team and just to be honest, I was either the best player or the next best player or whatnot. And then there was a huge gap, and then there was the rest of the players. And I did it too. But I saw other really good players just complaining about the less,
Mhm.
capable players and wishing they would raise their game up and just getting flustered and yelling at them and whatever. I did it too.
Mhm.
I admit there were times when I did it. But there came a time where I stopped and realized that was getting me nowhere and was making me not like the game.
Mhm.
And I loved the game too much.
Yeah.
And so something clicked with me, and I just started helping those down and stopping them and explaining some things, or just supporting them, not doing it for them, but coming and backstopping them and helping them build up their own confidence.
Mhm.
And seeing their growth in doing that. And then I got into coaching,
Mhm.
and I realized,
Mhm.
they didn't want me, the little kids didn't want me doing it for them. They wanted me to show them and then let them go and do it, fail, point some things out, show them some alternatives, and then step back and let them go at it again and fail, then come back in and not sit there. I saw too many coaches just berate their players for not getting it the first time or the 15th time or the 28th time or
Yeah.
whatever.
It's like going from fixed mindset to growth mindset. And that's kind of even when I used to work with a big group of people, and I would think, I felt that I was more professional, or I knew the job better. I was better at it, and they would screw off all the time. And I'd get frustrated with it, and they'd make mistakes. And instead of getting mad, I finally ended up trying to train them properly instead of just being pissed off that they were screwing it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that, to me, is kind of an analogy of what we're here to do.
Yeah.
It's not, we're not bad people because we've gotten frustrated with these
Right.
lower frequency people and and poo-pooed them, or said things or whatever. That's part of the energies, that's part of the whole makeup. It's not that you did that, it's that you did it and now you recognize it and then you rise above it. Them seeing you rise above it is what shines the light. It's what makes them go, well, that's how you do it right there. Because think about this. In a perspective, they're beneath you in frequency, if you
Right.
look at it that way.
Yeah.
But even below them, there are those underneath them that are even lower frequency.
Right.
They're not going to start doing it for those lower than them if we can't start doing it for them.
Right.
Right.
And
And I'm becoming so grateful for these connections, as uncomfortable, or they all tell such a story. It's just, I'm so grateful for them because they're helping me to hone my craft and to be able to use my discernment and just to know what I need to do and how I need to do it, and all that stuff.
Yeah. This is meant to be a cascade.
Yeah.
But are you going to wait for someone to push you forward? Or are you going to look around and see it's happening and saying, okay, it's time to answer my dragon. And
Yeah.
let's go. Let's step into the light. Let's start being the example and not waiting for an example.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what this is all about.
Mm-hmm.
This list about the dragon. You are indestructible.
I know.
you, you have to walk in that. You have to have confidence in it. It's
Yes.
not that you don't make mistakes, but your mistakes are planned. You
Mm-hmm.
actually plan to make those mistakes to see you rise above them.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So don't avoid mistakes. Don't avoid things that truly challenge you, and you think, I don't know if that payoff is worth it. It's more than just the payoff. It's look around the context of it. Who's watching you?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's why we're here to do this, is so that
Yeah.
they can see us doing it. They can feel us doing it.
Yeah.
Who are you when no one's around? Who are you when everyone you know and have ever known is encircling you, watching
Mm-hmm.
every move?
Right. Well, and if you think about it too, and what came up for me when you were saying that is, if I were watching someone else, like if I were watching Jenny do something and you made a mistake, Jenny, I would be so pleased with you for just giving it a try. But how much do
Right.
we feel it for ourselves, you know? And so it's like that. Just do it. Just do it. Doesn't matter if you made a mistake or not. I mean, you're showing
Mm-hmm.
somebody else that it's okay to give it a try. It's okay
Yeah.
to step out. And if there's some mistake or some, you know, something you do wrong or whatever, it was baked in anyway for somebody else to learn from it or for you to learn from it. And so it's
Yep.
Well, a lot of people will say, well, when do I when do I give up? When do I stop? When do I give up on an endeavor?
right.
When have I tried it enough? When have
Mhm.
I done this enough? When have I done that enough? When you feel your energy start to ebb and
Yeah.
start to come down the other way,
Mm-hmm.
this is part of you
Mhm.
developing your sovereignty. This is you starting to be able to create your situational awareness about you and knowing how you operate and understanding when you've got the energy to go do something and when you don't,
Mhm.
and not using excuses because it's something you know you need to do and you should be doing, but you're putting it off.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You're spending, a lot of us expend a lot of energy avoiding something that if we took that same energy and put it towards
Yeah.
actually doing the thing, it would have already been done.
Yeah, we spend a lot of energy with that. And the other thing you brought up to me in one of the conversations earlier this week, whenever it was, I don't know about time, was we spend a lot of our energy too walking back through what we've already done. So
Mm-hmm.
guessing ourselves or replaying it and going, you know, it's just like we spend so much energy playing it through, playing it forward, trying to anticipate what the reaction is going to be playing. You know, it was like we've spent so much of our energy just going through these things versus just follow, get centered, get
Mm-hmm.
right, and just walk and just
Yeah.
go with where their sensors are telling you to, you know, adjust along the way. And it is so true. So true.
Yep. I'm at the point now. I mean, I used to be OCD,
Mm-hmm.
had to be had perfectionist.
Mhm.
Um, and that served a purpose. It did. I
Mhm.
learned a lot during that time. And then I started pulling back from that. And it was a constant battle. I felt like I was, I'd be up here with the OCD and then I'd realize it and then I'd come back here. And then it would grind me because
Mhm.
I was thinking, oh, all I had to do was put forth a little bit more effort and I could be right back up here. So I did a lot of this. And
Mm-hmm.
then I said, wait a minute, what's really going on here? Like, and do I need to be, what is perfect at everything? What is it? And it's only been in the last couple of years I realize I'm not really challenging myself in this regard because
Mm-hmm.
I've done the OCD. I've perfected the OCD. I don't need to keep doing that.
Yeah.
So now,
Like you've made the outside of your world very perfect and comfortable for you.
so now I realized there was really not that there were other challenges out there that I could have done, but nothing that was going to really tell me about me. It was all out there. Now it was time to debrief and come inside and start to really unravel the things inside me that were driving the things outside me, and start to say those things outside were just examples. The thing inside is what was pushing those things. So let's follow that trajectory back inside and see what is that thing that keeps driving that. And I started doing that and started unraveling those things. Now, just recently, I'm at the point now where I'm not saying I want to, but I almost want to sabotage myself outside to give myself a challenge.
Right.
That's just me applying my OCD to it.
Yeah.
What I'm really trying to do is say, quit trying to plan everything out.
You're even trying to plan your karmic crap.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So just go.
I was a worrywart. I used to be a major worrywart, like just with my kids and what was going to happen with this, with that. Now I'm just, it's all good. I worry very little. Actually, I don't know if I worry at all.
You can't. Oh,
It's frozen.
she's frozen.
More, to be honest. Oh, better? Is that good?
Yeah, there you go. You're unstable.
Yeah. What I told myself is, I can't really open up this until I quiet this down.
Yes.
And this is where all the OCD and all that came from, all the doubt and the ego and everything. I'm not saying it's all housed up here. I'm just saying this is the conduit to it. I needed to quiet this down so I could hear what this was telling me. And in the last couple of years, that this has gotten quiet enough that I could hear this. And that's when these lists started coming together, and I started
the council
coming to grips with, there's nothing out here that's going to give me happiness.
Right.
Nothing. There is not one person or thing out here that's going to provide me happiness.
That's right.
Me too.
It's nothing against her.
No.
It's not.
I know. I get it.
That'd be a huge responsibility.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. There's same with me. I mean, I nowadays I have the best love affair with myself that I've ever had. You know, I finally learned who I was and learned to love me.
Yeah,
I'm awesome, man.
Can you enjoy your company?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, more than anybody's. Spend most of my time with me.
Like when she and I first got together.
Yeah.
We really gelled so well that it's almost like we had known each other for a long time. And we were just started we'd only known each other a week or two, and we're like spending every available moment together.
Yeah.
And at one point, I asked her to go home.
I was going through some emotional stuff, and he says, "Honey, I love you, but you need to go to your apartment."
And I felt bad. I did. I didn't want her to let her know, but I felt bad.
Yeah.
Because I realized that we were both transferring and latching on to the other. And I knew I needed to spend some time alone and debrief and go, okay, I don't want to lose the sense of me in this partnership. I want to make sure that and I also, if I can do this for me, I want her to be able to do that for her.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the best thing that could have been done, because
absolutely.
Like we always try. I mean, programmed people try to fix each other and help each other all the time, and then then you can't help yourself.
I mean, think about our programming is 2 becomes 1 kind of
Mhm.
programming, and it's like you get melded and you get lost in it. And I'm extremely thankful that he had the perspective of that, because it
Yeah.
even though I didn't feel good at the time,
Right.
I come home
Right.
like, what is going, what's going on, and all this stuff. It was getting me to sit with that with myself and
Mhm.
face myself. It was like a mirror work, for me.
Right.
And I would not be where I am today had it not progressed like that.
I
That's
wouldn't either.
beautiful.
I would have been, we would have melded together.
Mhm.
And then at some point we would have lost ourselves, and we
Mhm.
probably would have gotten into arguments, because then the demands
Yeah.
and the expectations would have started
Mhm.
battling each other, and we
Mhm.
would have fallen by the wayside like any other common relationship.
Right.
And
Well, I thought it's like a relationship is a bonus for a healed person, and it's a project for an unhealed person.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, I was listening to Eckhart Tolle yesterday, one of his things from a long time ago, but he was talking about, he said, where he is, and he's very centered in the present moment now. And he said, it's not that I don't enjoy experiences. He said, like, eating a piece of chocolate, or he said, even sex, but he
Mhm.
said, I don't need it. If I never had it again, I'm okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of that, don't need any of that outside experience to give you life, or to give you pleasure or
because when you don't
happiness,
have it,
then
then
you,
you're less.
right.
Then you
Yeah.
feel like you're less because you don't have it. So
Yeah.
don't need it. And then when you have it,
Then you just
you can live
enjoy
in
it.
gratitude the
Mhm.
whole time.
Right.
And then when
Yes.
it disappears, you can say, okay,
Mhm.
I remember what it felt like when I had it. And I'm
And that was great. That was awesome. I enjoyed that moment, in whatever that moment is,
Right.
so much. And it was in that, like, I'm able to, whatever the moment is, fully like immerse myself in the pleasure of that moment, of that piece of chocolate or whatever it is.
Mhm.
And then it can be gone, and it's fine. And I'm just grateful that I had the moment,
Mhm.
but I don't have to have another one, and I don't have to seek it out where it, as I used to just have to like prolong it forever. I'd have to be like, oh, always chasing it and trying to bring it back and all
or
That's
that stuff.
hoard
hoarding.
Yeah.
your chocolates.
I mean, that's what I was going to say. I mean, think about it, because we have fear of not having. So it was like we wanted to hold on, or pack more
Uh-huh.
of it, or store more of it, or worry about how we were going to get more of it. And it's whatever that more of is.
Like having it right then and worrying about when it was going to be gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even time with like, time over the holidays that I spent with family, I was fully present in those moments, not worried about, oh, well, when I go home, I'm not going to see him for this long, or, oh, what if I never see that person? It was nothing of that. It was just this moment, and that's what we have, and we're going to enjoy that moment. And it makes it so much richer. I mean, if you have a piece of chocolate and you're eating that piece of chocolate and you're just enjoying that piece of chocolate, you're going to just enjoy it for the time you have it, but you're going to really enjoy it, whatever that is. Yeah. And for that moment. Yeah.
And that's what this whole experience is all about.
Mhm.
It's coming to that conclusion. It's realizing we don't need to wallow in our pain and misery and fear and doubt. It served its purpose.
Mm-hmm.
We had to go through it in order to meet our tormentors on their frequency plane.
Mhm.
But now there's been enough of that. Now it's time to swing the momentum around, and start rising back up. And let them, they know, they've seen us,
Mhm.
they know we were here.
Mm-hmm.
So now they can actually see us rising back up, and they can choose to join us or not.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean we have to stay down on their
Yes. Exactly.
Mhm.
I'm very unattached to who ascends with me. I'm very unattached to that. I enjoy the people who I get to be with, on a semi-regular basis, and I'm so grateful for them. But I'm doing it, and then the people around me, if they come, they come. If they don't, they don't. And some may come now, some may come in a little bit. Who knows? I just plant the seeds.
Well, I mean, wanting someone to join you is not bad. But when they don't, or they don't come to you on this event or whatnot, and then that affecting your mood or whatnot. That is not love.
Right.
That is selfishness.
Yes.
Love, having love for someone, true love is saying, I don't care what you do.
Right.
Do whatever you feel. If you want to come with me, don't come with me because I want you to.
Right.
Come with me because you want to and I want to, and then we'll go as long, and then when it's time to break apart, then you go do your thing and I'll go do my thing. And if a time comes where we can do it again, we will. But in the meantime, go hang out with other people and explore other experiences.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yes.
But I don't want to demand and expect from others, and I don't want them to do that to me. So, but I'm not going to wait for them to do it. I'm going to start with me first, because that's the way I am. That's part of my OCD too, and my perfectionism is, well, I'm going to lead by example. I'll be the first one to do it. And that's what I did with her. I said, I want to show her how much I love her. So I said, you need to start spending some time on you.
Yeah.
And I knew that it was going to make it so that, I would have a little bit of a lonely feeling. And I did when we first started doing it.
Yeah.
I think you thought during the time when it was happening that I just sent you away.
No, I knew from a higher level there was a bigger purpose. I didn't necessarily totally get it here, but I was following what I knew it was the right thing, but I didn't necessarily like it. My ego person didn't necessarily like it at the time, but I was choosing that higher purpose, even though I didn't totally understand what it was. I was, trying to feel into it, but I also was avoiding myself.
You were.
And I was avoiding myself. And so that redirected me to keep me from avoiding myself, which I needed to focus. And I knew that, but I was also running from that. So, I knew that part of it, which made it a little easier for me to go, yeah, he's right on that. I didn't like it.
And to be honest about this whole thing, we both were previously married. Okay. Her marriage had ended more recently than mine did.
Yeah.
I had more time. I had already gone through my dark nights of the soul, living in the basement and getting over that and dealing with myself. And I had more time than she had. But I recognized that when we got together, and I recognized the signs. And I said, well, I'm not going to be your savior.
Yes.
Yeah, and that was, he honestly, in gratitude that he was there through that time, because he easily could have been like, all right, see you later. You can see me in 3 years when you get yourself in order. But he didn't,
Or I could have allowed her to attach herself to me.
Yeah, and him be my knight in shining armor, white, just kind of like, oh, whatever. But he didn't do either. And so he just held his space and allowed me to go through because it was a journey through that for me.
You were also dealing with your sons too.
Yeah, it was many years for me to feel like I came out of the tunnel, and I'd have episodes of really brightness, and then and then I was back in the tunnel again. It was like my high self knew I needed those little, sunshine, go back into the cellar. Sunshine, it was that feeling for quite a while. And he was very stable in all of that, and didn't let me knock him off his center.
Yeah.
Well, that's like with my last relationship too, because it was, leaving my marriage, and I went directly to living with someone and thinking that he wanted to live with me and be with me, but it was really just out of convenience because he had no idea what he was getting into. And then I went through my dark night of the soul with someone who was like, you're crazy. I'm not doing this, and I had no choice but to go within, which I'm so grateful for, because I've had fixers my whole life, or, I looked for someone to fix me or to take care of me or to fix everything. I didn't want to do anything myself.
Yeah.
Yep. So I needed it. I really needed it. And it needed to be hard, and it needed to be in a cruel way, because I needed that. Like it needed to be done that way.
Well, it's interesting because up until that time, I was a very, just set aside the ego, it's not an ego thing. But I was a very powerful creator pretty much my whole life. And I would be able to work around through over, turn somebody around on themselves. And pretty much I didn't have a very difficult time the majority of my life. He was the first one I met that I couldn't get around, over, through, or do word games on. And I didn't even realize I was doing it. Honestly, I didn't understand. I just was living me and being me. But he was the first being that I'd ran into that goes, I see what you're doing. But I mean, he didn't say it like that, but he would go, all right, you need to go. But he was seeing me for what I was doing. And he was strong and tall and at a vibrational level that I wasn't getting past it. And so that's what I needed to.
And I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have called her out on these things if I didn't know how to love.
Right.
Because I had been in a marriage before and I didn't call. I didn't call her out on it. I didn't, and I should have. And this time I said, I'm not making those mistakes again. It wasn't the emphasis wasn't on calling her out. The emphasis is not letting her steer and, not manipulate, but give her an easy street.
Right. Yeah.
Well, it is a manipulation. We don't realize that's what we're doing, but I was the same way. It's like we are manipulating to what we want and not, and having little regard for like the big picture of the situation in those moments. I totally understand that. And it's such a gift to have someone who can say no with love. Mine was done in a harsher way and more of someone not wanting to deal with me, but I needed it. That's how it needed to be for me.
Well, the thing is, we've talked many times about the role that we play with others. So that role of seeing what is happening with that person and what's the best choice for that person often comes at a very uncomfortable decision, uncomfortable to us, because it was uncomfortable to him, when he had to do that. But he knew that was the right thing to do for me and for us together. It was not just for me, but for both of us together, but for me too. That I wasn't at a point I made that decision for myself at the moment, so he was encouraging me to do what was good for me at the moment. I couldn't make that decision for myself. And when I think about working with others, and as we go, as the dragon comes out with the sphere and all that stuff, we're going to be working with others that we're going to see what the right decision is for that other, or what is the best decision for them, even though it might be uncomfortable for us. And even though we can make it easier on them in the short term, it's not really better on them in the longer term. And being able to hold that is going to require a really strong center of ourselves.
Being able to set boundaries with love and stick to them.
Yeah.
Knowing that's the best thing to do.
And despite everything we've learned, you do not treat everyone the same.
No. You can't.
You can't, because everyone is different and requires every single relationship you have with a single person is different.
Yes.
And requires different nurturing and different fortitude and it to show the proper respect for each one. You treat each one as a standalone.
Yeah, you have to.
Because once you start lumping it in with others, you're showing you don't fully respect that being. That's my opinion. That's my perspective. And that is me wanting to be sovereign and utilizing that sovereignty to treat others as sovereign beings.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's saying, as an avatar, I see you.
Right.
I see you.
Yes.
I don't see you as like everyone else. I see you as you. And treat you as you.
Right.
Not necessarily the way I want you to treat me. It may not be. I may not treat you the way I want you to treat me.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, it will be.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But two people coming together don't have the same needs.
Mm-mm.
No.
Because I don't treat her the way she treats me.
Right.
I don't offer her the same things that she offers me.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
There's enough differences between us
Mm-hmm.
that if she tried to or I tried to, it would cause problems.
Yeah.
And I respect our union too much
Mm-hmm.
to sabotage it that way.
Yeah.
Or disrespect it.
Yeah, it's really
Even if you don't try to
yeah.
disrespect it, that's what it is. It's
Mhm.
taking your eyes off the wheel, off the road,
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
and wondering, how'd I get in the ditch?
You were looking at your cell phone.
Or looking in the mirror.
Yeah. Exactly. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to read and speak them.
Me
Oh.
too.
Yeah.
Me
Fantastic.
too.
It was quite the ordeal. Dealing wasn't bad. It wasn't like way over the top good. There were moments of both, kind of like, because there were times when I was going, huh? Just keep writing. Okay. And so I'm getting the stuff, and there were some of the items that I didn't know where it was going.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people won't even get started until they know where it's going.
Yeah.
And I had to take a leap of faith on every one of these because I didn't know where they were going.
Mm-hmm.
I just got like the first part of it. And normally I would go, okay, give me some more or whatever. And it's just, I got the signature that you start with that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started it. And then as I would get to the end, I would see the next one and then keep writing that one. And I just had faith that it was,
Mm-hmm.
that it would be there.
Yeah. And I think that's the way we're to walk into everything. Like we were talking earlier about trying to plan things out or look ahead. I mean, it's just to get going,
Mm-hmm.
and you're not going to know where it's going to go. And quite honestly, if you trust and you walk in it, it usually goes in some magnificent ways that you never thought could happen because we're creating new stuff. There's no way we're going to know where this is going to go, but having the courage, get rid of the fear, like your message has said about the dragon sphere, get rid of the fear and carry your dragon sphere into the space with you and just watch the magic, watch it unfold in front of you. So.
No limitations.
Mm-mm. Nope.
Only what you bring with you.
Yeah, like what's his,
what Yoda told Luke before he went into the cave.
He said,
he says, what's in there? Only what you bring with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah, that's kind of where we are. This is only as difficult as we make it.
Mm-hmm.
I see it's like a job, and you can have perks in your job or you can have a crappy job where it's terrible. I mean, I choose to find the most beautiful, amazing things on a day-to-day basis because I'm working this job in this amazing, beautiful place. So I'm going to make the most of it.
Mm-hmm.
But you're supposed to have challenges and difficulties, but it's not to power through it it's to actually pause and go, what's my higher self trying to show me with the difficulty?
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of the beauty too. I mean, being able to feel deeply good, bad, whatever, if you want to call it that. It's just sometimes some feelings I prefer, some feelings I don't prefer. But just being able to feel deeply whatever it is, I think is a gift to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. But you've got to have the confidence, wherewithal to actually stand up to that difficulty so that you can hold that space.
Got to become a warrior, and that comes with a lot of breaking down and building back up.
Well, you got to be able to put yourself out there, because otherwise you're just waiting on other people to do it.
Yeah.
I'll wait till they do it and then I'll follow on. Well, then you're going to basically, you're going to get what they're getting, but kind of diluted
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
because you're not doing what you would do on, within your sovereign energy. You're doing what they did.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And so you're utilizing their planning. You're utilizing
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
their road. You're not paving your own.
You're trying to do their magic. And it's
Yeah.
not the same. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not the same.
No,
Yeah. Cool.
definitely not.
Anything else before we wrap this one up?
Nope, that's about it.
Everyone
No,
complete?
I can hear the natives getting restless out there. The kids are getting crazy. I can hear them through the door. They're losing it.
Getting restless. The natives are
Yeah.
getting restless.
Yeah.
Wow, do they give you like a time limit?
Kind of, sort of. I mean, it's like between dinner time and bedtime. So it's like, I did dinner and bath, and then now it's about to be bedtime. But Mackenzie, she's just, energetically, the last couple of days have been rough on her. My youngest, she's just really emotional and just dramatic. So I know it's the energies, because that's not typically how she is.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. It's hitting a lot of us in different ways. So.
She walked in from playing outside today and had a purse, threw it in the front door. I was like, ah! I'm like, what is going on? And she just ran in her room crying. And that's
Wow. Well, too, our children, and I mean, I think this too, we talked about taking on things of others around us, and I think that they pick up energies of others around them. I mean, so some of it's probably hers, and some of it's just wherever she's walking through, it's also seeing her as a clean, vessel to kind of round through. So, but anyway. All right. Well.
Okay.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye. I'll see you tomorrow.